community. We thank you for those who have come out tonight, and we thank you for those who are on their way, that they get here safe. But most of all, we thank you for life. We thank you for just being alive. And Father, we thank you so much, because if it wasn't for you, we don't know where we would be. And Father, bless this meeting. Let it be a productive one. In your precious name, Jesus, amen?
Amen. Thank you. So we have a very long agenda tonight. I'm just going to read the agenda first. We're going to have remarks from the chairperson, followed by acknowledgement of elected officials and community departments, followed by report from the district manager, Mr. Henry Butler. We have two informational presentations. One is coming from the sanitation department regarding the expansion of an organic recycling program. Second informational presentation will be on the proposed co-location of the 5th through 8th middle school in the Old Boys High School. We have 4 public hearings tonight. One from the Landmarks Committee regarding 840A Monroe Street, and 3 from the Economic Development Committee for businesses seeking letters of support for liquor licenses. One located at 1542 Fulton, another at 1215 Bedford Avenue, third at 1177 Bedford Avenue. After the public hearings, we will have community announcement, a roll call, committee updates and resolutions, and then we will take votes on the public hearings, followed by chairperson's report, acceptance of our minutes, and adjournment. So I just had a few things I wanted to mention with my report. First of all, everyone should be paying attention to what's happening with the census. I don't know if you saw any of the news programs over the weekend, but the Trump administration wants to ask a question on the census, which hasn't been asked in about 70 or 80 years, I think, which is whether people taking the census are citizens. So there is a concern that might depress the number of people that are answering the census, and we have pretty dire results for people in states like New York, where there's a large immigrant population. There's actually an article in the current Archive Press by Dr. John Plateau, who has worked for many years on census-related issues. So I would encourage everyone to read that.
In relation?
Oh, yeah, I think it's my brother. Yeah, I would encourage everyone to read the article by Dr. John Plateau. It's in the current issue of Archive Press. The other thing I just wanted to briefly mention is we've been working on trying to get the people at 529 Monroe Street relocated, and it happened. So we actually mentioned this at the last meeting. There were people that were housed at 529 Monroe Street. The building was illegally converted from a 14-unit building to a 43-unit building. The property is located at Monroe and Lewis Avenue. So we had a multi-pronged strategy. I know There were some articles that came out in the press, quoted Mr. Butler, also Assembly Member Wright. And then, just as a stroke of chance, I was at a borough board meeting on March, I think it was March 6th. That's a monthly meeting at the borough president's office with all of the community board chairs, as well as the city council members. Usually the council members don't actually appear, but they send a rep. At any rate, the guest speaker at that meeting was the commissioner for the Department of Social Services, so Stephen Banks, was giving a presentation at that meeting, and after he finished his wonderful presentation about all the good work that the city was doing in fighting homelessness, I asked him if he knew about 529 Monroe Street, and his face turned kind of red, but he said he was aware of it, and I just gave a brief outline of the facts. You know, the main point again is that a group was able to get a contract to provide housing for up to 43 residents in a single room occupancy situation, but the building had a certificate of occupancy for 14 units. So obviously there was some kind of miscommunication there. So he said he was aware of it and that they would be moving the residents out immediately, which we found out later he pretty much did do that. As of the beginning of March, the residents of that building were relocated. I'm not sure where they got relocated to, but they were moved out of that building. There was some very strange things going on with that building, involving financing and, you know, the fact that someone was able to get a contract there to house so many people, illegal conversion, you know, there are numerous issues. After the borough board meeting, Mr. Butler and myself met with some local residents from the area, because one of the questions we had was, what happened to the original 14 people, or 14 residents that were in the building before it got illegally converted to 43-unit single-room occupancy building. So from what we were able to gather from the residents, originally they tried to force them out, and I think they said there was mold in the building, but apparently none of the tenants bid on that one. So I think eventually, based on what we heard, the tenants were offered $15,000. And then they were able to get the building vacated. Now, it's not so easy to vacate a rent-stabilized building, so who knows whether all of this stuff was done legally, but, you know. Bottom line is that at this point now, the Department of Social Services terminated the contract with the provider, and all of the residents who were homeless were relocated. We also had a meeting with Aaron Drinkwater from Department of Social Services and Annette Holm from HRA. Mr. Butler and myself met with those two officials on March 23rd, and they confirmed that all the residents were out of the building, and they said that in the future they would check the certificates of occupancy and not just rely on the word of the service providers. So they said, you know, basically that was their measure to prevent something like that from happening again. The last thing that I'm going to mention, well, actually two more things. We had a meeting, and Mr. Butler might amplify on this. We had a meeting about 10 days ago, I guess, with several different agencies about what's happening across the street in Marcy Plaza. You might have noticed, but there are couple of homeless people that have kind of taken up over there. There's one woman wears about 7 or 8 layers of clothing, and she's got a lot of debris that she has piled up in the area. And then there's another young man who hangs out there. So I think Mr. Butler may have a little bit more to say about that, but we did have a meeting with the police and Department of Homeless Services, Department of Transportation. So we'll be trying to address that situation. Last thing I want to mention is for homeowners, just beware of home improvement contractors. This is the season when you start to have more activity with home improvements, and just be careful that if you do engage these people, that they're licensed, and you can check that by going to the City Department of Consumer Affairs website. I'm actually dealing with a situation right now in my office where a unlicensed home improvement contractor filed a fraudulent lien for over $200,000 against someone's property. So just a word of caution. We're going to move on to acknowledgement of elected officials and community partners. And first up is Assemblywoman Jermaine Wright.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you. I'm very happy to be back and to see you all here this evening. As many of you know, we just finished the budget in Albany, so we do have an on-time budget, which I'm very happy to report. And it is a mixed bag of goods. Some of it we're very excited about, and other things we're a little disappointed that we weren't able to get into it. But just to give you a couple of highlights, we did get money for NYCHA. So we will be making it, well, we plan and intend to have some investments made. As you know, that is governed by NYCHA, and that they will be handling the installment and the new boilers that are needed throughout this city. I know many of you heard over the winter that a number of our neighbors went without heat for over 30 days. We can't have that happening. There was it's a $250 million investment in this budget cycle. There's some other dollars outstanding, which should bring them to approximately $500 million for new boilers. I believe Roosevelt and Marcy are two of the developments in our community that are on the list to have new boilers installed. Additionally, we invested in the MTA. So the state has invested a little over $400 million to come up with half of the action plan so that we can upgrade the signaling, which is a large part of the problem and delays along our subway lines. So those are the initial things, but we are also constantly making requests so that the capital plan will include, and they will actually work on opening some of our closed exits on some of our very congested subway stations all along the J as well as on the A line. We have investments in after-school health care, a very aggressive and new housing plan to provide homeless or near home, or people who are at risk of becoming homeless, with rental assistance. So before someone actually becomes, right, thank you. We were trying to prevent homelessness. At this point, we're operating from deficit. We're waiting until people become homeless in order to assist them. This program, which has a little more than, I think, $400 million, I'm sorry, it has $15 million dedicated to it, will provide a rental assistance for people who are in their homes and just at risk of becoming homeless. And I believe that it is a 4-year pilot. So the idea is that we are able to assist people, keep them in their homes, allow them to become stable, and then to wean themselves off of the program. So that was one of the bigger highlights. My office, I'm not gonna go through the entire budget report, I don't wanna bore anybody, but I do wanna let you know that we will be sending out the highlights of the budget, and it will be broken down according to the area of concern, so social services, housing, MTA, transportation, protective services, and you should be seeing that early next week from our office. If you need any information regarding the budget or items that are being covered in it, please feel free to give us a call so that we can make sure that we can get you that information. And lastly, I hope everyone is receiving our mail. If you are not, Amanda Robinson will be coming to this meeting a little later on. She's in the office right now making some copies where she'll be, she could take your information and get you on our mailing list. We'd love to hear from you. What your concerns are become our priorities, so please don't hesitate to send us an email. Let us know what you're working on and what's important. I know that we got a couple of messages regarding the Monroe Street property. We, along with our partners here in the city, have made sure that we got in touch with HRA and are following up on it. We have a meeting with them later this week. We're also talking to some of our, along with, I know Bridge Street is working on some banking issues, and we're working with some of our local banks to see if they're able to create a financial vehicle for folks who have liens against their homes and that might need to be able to take out a loan versus entering into a payment plan with the city. So that's something we're still working on. And there are a number of initiatives that our office is trying to reach out to the community regarding, also including construction. If any of you have had damage to your home because of construction, nearby construction, or particularly someone doing construction in an adjoining building, please contact our office. We need to hear from you. We need to know the circumstances, and we need to be able to advocate and to share that story so that we can get some protections in place in the law for homeowners that are being harmed by adjoining construction. Our number at the office is 718-399-7630. Again, it's 718-399-7630. Please do not hesitate to pick up the phone and give us a call. We also have our email address where I don't check it every day, so please contact the staff in my office by phone if you're sending an email, but it is writet@nyassembly.gov. writet@nyassembly.gov. We love to hear from you. We're very happy to see you in the office, and we hope that we will see you at the Women of Distinction event celebration that is happening on Friday evening at 7 o'clock right here in Restoration, where we will be honoring some of our community champions, some of the women who do tireless work and make great impact here in our community. So we took nominations from community. We have a class of 20 women who will be inducted into our Women of Distinction, some Hall of Fame. And we'd love for you to be a part of the celebration. It's cocktails and cupcakes, 7 p.m. here in Restoration on Friday. Thanks.
All right, thank you very much, Councilmember Wright. I'm going to call up in this order, and if you could please keep your remarks in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Candace Julian from the Office of Borough President, District Leader Olivia Alabi, Sheldon Jones from the Brooklyn District Attorney's Office, Shakti Robinson, Senator of Montgomery's Office. Also, I'd like to acknowledge Marcus Harris, is he here? Marcus Harris stands in back seat. Borough President, he didn't be from Borough President, Special Assistant to Borough President Eric Evans.
Good evening, Bedside. It's been a while since I've been here, so I missed you guys. Again, my name is Candace Julian, your liaison at the Office of the Brooklyn Borough President, Eric L. Adams. As always, I share my phone number with you, which is 718-802-3981. Feel free to contact me to discuss any issue, large or small. Also, if you haven't done so already, please be sure to pick up the Borough President's Message of the Month. It highlights all the policy issues we've been working on and the upcoming events held at Borough Hall and around the borough. such as the Narcan training, which is a free overdose prevention training. It's being held at various libraries around the borough. It's a life-saving free workshop. So it's worth just going out and just learning how to prevent an overdose. Also, April is Financial Education Empowerment Month. So we're doing a lot of work in the community, at Borough Hall, and in our schools with our youth. Again, all that information is in the packet, so be sure to pick it up. I also want to acknowledge my colleague, Marcus Harris, who did a lot of work in the month of March for Colon Cancer Awareness Month, fielding over 200 calls to men who are uninsured, ensuring that they get colon cancer screenings. So again, be sure to pick up the Borough President's Message of the Month, a lot of great information in there. Feel free to reach out to me should you have any issues, and I will see you all next month. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I just have one announcement first. I am hosting a town hall meeting April 26th. This is what the flyer looks like. We will have 3 agencies there: the Landmarks Preservation Commission, the Housing Preservation and Development Agency, and we also have Civilian Complaint Review Board. So if you have any complaints about police encounters, certainly come out. Those of you who have issues with landmarks or any questions, they will be there to do a full presentation. And for renters and landlords, HPD will be on hand to give you information as well. The flyers are out in the lobby, and I hope that you will join me on April 26th. Thank you so much, and enjoy the evening.
And so we could get ready in this order. Again, Shelton Jones, Shakti Robbins, Nicholas Purrick from the Controller's Office, and new principal, Marcella Palmer. And that's 896.
Two announcements I have. One, we're currently recruiting from our summer internship program. It is for high school sophomore, juniors, and rising seniors, meaning not seniors who are graduating, but someone who will be a senior next September. The deadline of application is Friday, April 27th. This internship is a paid internship. You will receive $150 a week, plus a Metro card to travel back and forth from work while you're in the program. It's a 5-week program, and you must apply online. I want to thank Henry because I know it's in the packet as well, but I have some flyers on the table. Also, we have our Justice News. In our Justice News, it talks more about the DA's Justice 2020 initiative, and it also has the name of the individuals who are on that committee. That's going to help make us a more progressive district attorney's office. The last thing I wanted to talk about was a case that we just had. We just indicted a man from Queens who was doing some very egregious stuff. He was pretending to be a lawyer and would say he would help individuals who are currently serving time if they believed that they were wrongly convicted. He would go visit these individuals in prisons and also reach out to their families, and he would take anywhere between $7,000 and $15,000 from each of these individuals, and he would never file any motion or anything. This has been going on for over 4 years that he's been doing this. This is extremely disheartening for our office because we take pride in the 24 conviction overturns that's happened since this administration has been in place. So please tell people, if it sounds too good to be true, to be real, it's probably not. And that there's a lot of individuals out there trying to separate you from your money. And everybody who says they're a lawyer isn't necessarily a lawyer. So if you hear anything about that, please reach out to us. You can reach out to our Action Center. The number there is 718-250-2340, 718-250-2340, or you can reach me directly at 718-250-3146, and I do return all my calls within 24 hours. Thank you. Have a great evening.
All right. Thank you. If you hear the time go up, that means the time is up. All right. Shakti Robbins, Nicholas Perry, Marcella Parr, and Emily Mateo, Assembly Member Olsey's office.
Good evening. Again, my name is Shakti Robbins, representing Senator Montgomery. I just want to talk about 2 things in the budget. One is school-based health centers. I know I was here all last year. You guys probably heard me talk about it at least like 5 meetings. Our school-based health centers were cut drastically last year. We have one at Boys and Girls High School campus, and Bedford Stuyvesant Family Health Center also sponsors several school-based health centers. And what they do is they provide free health care, wraparound, primary, dental, mental health, reproductive health, for no cost, no matter whether students have insurance, no matter what their immigration status is, at school where they are during the day. And one, they weren't cut anymore, so we're very glad about that. And also, the funds that were cut last year were restored. So we're very, very excited. Also, I would like to talk about Youth Build. There is a Youth Build program on St. John's Place and Ralph Avenue. Youth Build is it's actually nationwide. The one on St. John's Place is Dreams Youth Build. They provide programming to youth that are between 17 and 24. They're out of school, out of work. They leave with a GED. They get counseling, job counseling, college readiness, wraparound services, and what's unique about this one is that they also get paid construction training. They leave with certifications, and they actually do a lot of work on affordable housing projects. So they do a lot of renovation, whether it's rehab or new projects. They do a lot of work in the community around affordable housing. And we try and give funding to them all the time. It's very difficult. It's often member item funded, so as you can imagine, a lot of that money goes upstate. So the senator has introduced legislation to make it a little bit easier for them to get grants from the Department of Labor. Thanks.
Thank you. All right.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Nicholas Perry. I'm a representative for New York City Comptroller Scott Stringer. Tonight I'm bringing you some information about our latest report regarding traffic violations in school zones. Now, this report reveals that we have a two-tiered system of traffic enforcement. And basically, that means like when you get a ticket from a red light camera, you get fined, but you don't get points taken off your license like when you get stopped by a police officer. And our controller believes that this creates a gap between ticketing and law enforcement. Now the facts are that our report shows that over 121,000 vehicles have racked up 5 or more violations for speeding through a school zone. And over 1,100 times a day in New York City, a vehicle with multiple violations blows through another red light or speeds through a school zone. That's the equivalent to 1 violation or 1 potential accident every 78 seconds. Our controller believes that we need to get these bad drivers off the road fast. If you would like more information about this report or any other report from our office, you can feel free to visit our website at www.comptroller.nyc.gov, and you can feel free to request copies from me directly. My name is Nicholas Perry, and you can reach me directly at 212-669-3811. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Marcella Carr-Gay, and I am the project director, soon to be school leader for the new middle school opening in District 16, MS 898. MS 898 is a progressive school that will be serving grades 6 through 8 by September 2020. We will be opening this fall with 96 graders and then adding a grade each year. Now I know that the agenda is really packed, so I can't take any questions, but what I will do is I'll stand outside and I will be available if anyone has any questions and wants to learn more about MS 898. I'm sorry. Oh, the school will be co-located in the Granville T. Woods building at 130 Rochester Avenue between Bergen and St. Mark's. We will be sharing the space with Public School 335. I can be reached via email at mcar3.nyc.schools.gov. There's promotional material outside, and like I said, I will be standing outside. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to come out and I'll answer any questions that you have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Emily Raphael, and I am a representative for Assemblyman Walter Mosley. I just wanted to mention, he will be having a budget town hall. This will be on Facebook Live on April 17th, and it actually will be from 6:30 through 7:30. So if you are interested, you can tune into Facebook Live, and if you have any questions or you are interested and want to know how the budget goes, he will definitely be there to answer your questions. Thank you so much and have a good night. And I left some flyers outside. Thank you.
Officer Charles. Thank you. All right, let's just acknowledge Officer Charles from the 79th Precinct.
Officer Charles.
Omar Holloway.
All right, because I have a lot of heads. I'm representing Bridge Street. I'm the Director of Community Engagement for Bridge Street Development Corporation. We have a lot of resources for tenants. And I'm also offering my staff to make presentations at tenant associations. But on April 12th, we have a free legal clinic for anyone who lives in Bedford who is facing eviction or having any type of problems with their landlords. They can talk to a free lawyer. This is in partnership with Brooklyn Legal Services. On April 12th, and that's from 4 to 6. From 6:30 to 8, we are having a workshop called How to Navigate Housing Court with Housing Court Answers. So if there are tenants who would like to participate or trying to organize their associations, I would encourage them to come to Bridge Street on April 12th. On April 18th, new legislation was passed called Right to Counsel. It will be a Brooklyn Town Hall. This will be at St. Francis de Sales School of the Deaf. On April 18th from 7 to 9. You see a flyer. We have it in Spanish, English, and you can get it in other languages. So we hope you will come out and support that. We have a youth fair on April 14th at MS 35 from 10 to 4:30. It's a youth fair at 272 McDonald Street, and it's youth fair and health fair. So it's for the entire family. A lot of resources, especially if you're looking for camps for the summer or things to get your young people employed. I think that's it for the immediate. And just the last pitch. Girl Scout season is ending. There's Girl Scouts being sold, cookies being sold. I'm encouraging you to get them, so I don't have to take them home. That is my daughter out there, so that's the impression.
All right. You got it, a shameless plug. All right. Please, if you could be ready in this order, Annette Rogers from the Brownstoners, Daniel Fisher, 81st Precinct Council, and Dr. Kim Bress from the 79th Precinct Council.
Thank you. Good evening, all. It is April. That means one thing to me. Tax lien. Okay, so we know that there are people who unfortunately are in danger of losing their homes because of tax or water bills that have not been paid. Well, help is on the way. The Brownstoners, in cooperation with many community organizations and our councilman's office, there will be a help night right here in Restoration that is on Wednesday, April 25th from 6 to 8 p.m. There will be people from the Department of Finance, from DEP, from Brooklyn Legal Services, from all different agencies that can help people in case they're on the tax lien list. Brownstoners, you will see us out in our yellow shirts, yellow and brown shirts, going out, knocking on doors, letting people know that the help night will be on April 25th. When you see us, wave, say hello, and feel free to join us as we try to inform some 450 residents in this area that they're on the lien list and they don't have to lose their homes. They can come to Health Night, which is when? Wednesday, April 25th, from 6 to 8 p.m. right here in Restoration. Thank you. In the hall upstairs, all upstairs.
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. How y'all doing tonight? So I'm Daniel Bishop. I'm the president of the Bedford Community Council, and I just followed up on our president, Brownstones. I'm a Brownstoner, proud Brownstoner, and we do this project every year, and we're so blessed to be able to save people from losing their homes. At my meeting last month, I had representatives from the Department of Environmental Protection come out to talk about the tax lien. So we're hitting this from a several-pronged attack. So please, come out to our meeting this next Tuesday, April 10th. We're having a special guest this time from the NYPD, a high-ranking official from the NYPD, to just give us some information. But I want to also tell you about our pre-Mother's Day breakfast. We had such a wonderful time last year that we're doing it again on Saturday, May 5th at Sugar Hill Supper Club from 9 a.m. to 12. It's a pre-Mother's Day breakfast. It's a wonderful event. We have entertainment. We have silent auction. Tickets are only $25, and you can get tickets from the precinct community affairs office. I don't have any tickets on me tonight, so please call the office or see me later to get tickets. The number is 718-574-0433. I'm sorry, can you get that number? It's 718-574-0433. We also have 2 meetings left for the season on Tuesday, May 8th and Tuesday, June 12th. So I'd love to see all of you come out. We have our elected officials that always come to speak. Wonderful Assemblywoman Tremaine, right? She's always, Tremaine, how are you? She always comes out to speak and give us great information. So again, that's my time, but I'd love to see you all at our pre-Mother's Day breakfast, Saturday, May 5th. It's only $25. And I'd love to see you at our meeting next week, Tuesday, April 10th, 7 p.m.
Thank you. All right, Dr. BklynBridges.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. We get the camera? Yes.
Right in front of you.
Okay, right. I'm Dr. BklynBridges. I'm the president of the 79th Precinct Community Council. And our next meeting is April 25th at 7 p.m. It's held at Brooklyn Job Corps, 585 DeKalb Avenue. Also, on June 22nd, we will be hosting our dinner dance. We have not had a dinner dance in a couple of years, but it's going to happen on June 22nd at the United Chapter at 441 Willoughby Avenue. Tickets are $50, and we're going to have a good time. So anyone interested in coming to the dinner dance, you can get tickets at the precinct, or either you can contact me to get your tickets. The time is going to be from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. on a Friday night. So I look forward to everyone coming out to support the precinct council. And as you know, all of the money that we raise goes back into the community. When you come to our meetings, we make sure we feed you. We just had an Easter egg hunt. It went very wonderful. I think you was there, right, Mr.?
Right.
Mr. Perry, yes. And a lot of people came out and they really enjoyed, and most importantly, the children really enjoyed themselves. They went home with toys, they went home with Easter baskets, and we look forward to doing that with your support each and every year. Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to move on to District Manager's report, given by Mr. Henry Butler.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'll try to make this as quick as possible. Community Board 3 has several town halls coming up. The first one is our Parks Committee, having Parks Horticulture Committee is having a town hall. The Borough Commissioner of Parks Park, Monty Moore, will be at that meeting. That is taking place Thursday, April 29th, 6 to 9 at MS 35, 275 McDonough Street, McDonough and Little. April 19th, Parks, Culture, Arts, Culture Committee, Town Hall, April 19th. The second one, once again hosted by Brooklyn Community Board 3, we will have a town hall with the post office. Post office town hall meeting. That flyer looks like this. This flyer is out there. Please take this flyer with you, take several with you, take it to your members on your block. We get so many complaints about the post office service in our district. So this will be an opportunity to get some answers to all those problems that's going to be taking place. We'll have representatives from the Shirley Chisholm Post Office, which is 11233, from the Brevoort Post Office, 11216, the Bushwick Post Office, 11221, and the Adelphi Post Office, 11238. That's taking place April 24th. April 24th, right here at Restoration Plaza from 6:30 to 9 p.m. The next town hall will be May 16th, Wednesday. That is the city agency town hall. That flyer looks like this. We will have representatives from the Department of Buildings, Department of Transportation, and DEP, Department of Environmental Protection. Topics of discussion will be construction permits, illegal and legal construction, noise complaints, water and sewer lines, the rain garden, used to be known as the bioswale, street infrastructure, pedestrian safety, motorists, and parking. That's taking place May 16th. That's a Wednesday, 6:30 to 9. It will be held right here in Restoration Plaza, upstairs in the multi-purpose room, first floor multi-purpose room. Also, this Wednesday we will be doing, the Parks Committee and myself will be doing a tour of the different parks throughout Community Board 3 with Borough Commissioner Marty Law, basically to get a feel and an idea of what parks we feel that need to be renovated, that need total construction, some need a little bit of construction, but we will be doing that tour this Wednesday with the Parks Commissioner. Also, Mr. Flaxo spoke earlier about a meeting we had pertaining to Marcy Plaza. That was with Sanitation Department, Department of Homeless Services, and Department of Transportation. For those who don't know, Department of Transportation, they're responsible for those plazas. He spoke about the issue about a couple of people who appear to be homeless. First and foremost, we want to make sure those individuals are taken care of. So there is a plan of action to make sure that they get the services that they get, that they will need. So something will be happening with that within the plaza in the next couple of weeks on that issue. But as I stated earlier, we will make sure that those individuals get the services that they so need. Mr. Flaxo spoke earlier about the meeting we had with HRA, which took place Friday, March 23rd. As he said, we met with Annette Holmes, who is the Chief Specialist Service Officer for the Department of Social Services, and Aaron Drinkwater, Assistant Deputy Commissioner of Intergovernmental Affairs for the Department of Social Services. A few things we learned at that meeting. The organization that actually had the contract with the city was called Core Services, and the founder and president is Mr. Jack Brown. The timeline on what happened: January 2017, HRA inspected 529 Monroe. June 2017, Cortel's HRA building is ready. HPD inspected 529 Monroe the summer of 2017 and said the building was habitable. September 2017, the residents started moving into 529, and that's when HRA said that that's when they figured out that the CFO, certificate of occupancy, was only for 14 apartments and not for 43 single rooms. What came out of that meeting, in the beginning of February 2018, that building was listed as a no referral, meaning any other organization that tries to use that building for services, it will not be used for services. It was listed as a no referral under HRA. Their new policy pertaining to MROs with providers. HRA will check the CFO before submitting clients to a building. Also, we find out that NYPD now has oversight responsibilities for DHS security at the Bedford Atlantic Armory, which is actually in CBA, but right across the street from us on Atlantic and Bedford. They will have a training facility there now for security personnel. At my monthly Borough Service Cabinet meeting, which is the meeting of all district managers at Borough Hall, we had a presentation by the Mayor's Office of Events. For block parties, it's back down to 60 days to apply. They had moved it up to 90 days, you have to give notice, now it's back down to 60 days. If you apply for a block party, approval will be sent to you 2 weeks before your event. Approval will be sent to you 2 weeks before your event. So a lot of times people are calling our office saying, I haven't heard anything, I haven't heard anything, I haven't heard anything. 2 weeks before your event, that's when they should email you saying you've been approved. If you have not been emailed within 2 weeks, then you can call our office and we will call down to them to find out what's going on. If you want to do a rally or a demonstration, you will have to start with the NYPD. You do not go to Office of Events, you must start with NYPD if you're going to do a rally or demonstration. We also met with the State Liquor Authority. SLA, what we found out, State Liquor Authority, they will investigate stipulation violations. For example, if we tell an applicant that we agree that they will close at 2 in the morning on the weekends, we find that they're staying open to 4 in the morning on the weekends, SLA will come out and investigate that. SLA only has 27 statewide investigators. I repeat, only 27 statewide investigators. When it comes to liquor stores, we don't have jurisdiction on liquor stores, community boards, but SLA will come out and investigate if you feel they're selling to underage consumers or if there's plenty of loitering taking place outside of a liquor store. Also important, community boards are not notified about one-day permits, but the local precincts are. So if someone has a one-day permit, community boards do not get notified on that, but our local precincts, they do get notified. All applicants are required to notify community boards, but they are not required to show up to community board meetings. I repeat, all applicants are required to notify community boards, but are not required to show up to community board meetings. But if they don't show up, it will affect them getting a liquor license from SLA. Sidewalk cafe, if you obtain a sidewalk cafe, you have to remain your SLA license in order to serve liquor on the sidewalk. So if someone gets a liquor license and the next year they get a sidewalk cafe, if they have not amended that liquor license, they cannot serve alcohol on that sidewalk cafe. Last, if someone has a place of business and they're using their backyard to serve food or drinks, their CFO must state that. The certificate of occupancy has to say that it can be used for that measure. If it does not say that, then they are using their backyard illegally. So, if you are having issues with an establishment that has serving alcohol or feeding people in the backyard, it's best to check the certificate of occupancy. If it doesn't state they can do that, then they are using it illegally. If you have any questions, I will be around. Once again, I emphasize, please take these 2 flyers, the 3 flyers. The parks will also, to the block associations, give them out to make sure that we have a full house for our town halls. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Butler. We're going to move on to the next portion of our agenda. We have 2 information presentations. First is coming from the Transportation, Sanitation, and Environment Committee. And introduction will be given by the chair of that committee, Mr. Gregory.
Organic recycling program that will be coming to Brooklyn Community Board 3. The presentation will be given by Andrew Hoyle, Senior Manager for Organics Outreach.
Let me grab my Good evening, everyone. My name is Andrew Hoyle. I'm the Senior Manager for the Department of Sanitation's Bureau of Recycling and Sustainability. I work on the organics collection program for the city. And right now there's a 2-year expansion for the curbside organics program. This is the Department of Sanitation's newest recycling program. Some people might have heard of it, some people might have not, but it's essentially for organics, what the department considers food scraps, yard waste and food soil paper. That makes up about a third of everything that's thrown out at the curb. And so the agency has this program which is rolling out to CB3 starting next month, starting in May. And the program is going to be provided to all residents who live in a building with 1 to 9 units. There's also for residents who live in high-rises, buildings with 10 units, 10 or more units, you can enroll for the program. If you missed some of the notes that I have here today, I have a lot of brochures and things like that outside in the lobby, so you can grab any of those, or you can email me. My email is ahoyles@bsny.nyc.gov, or call me at my desk, 212-437-4441. Again, it's 212-437-4441, okay? So, the curbside program, what that is basically the Department of Sanitation providing residents with rodent-resistant brown bin. It has a latching lid, it has raccoon ridges inside of it, and essentially, we're trying to keep black trash bags off the curb where rats and stray dogs and cats, things like that, can tear open those bags and pour litter all over the place. These bins have a hard side to them, okay, and they stand up on their side, or on their wheels. Essentially, we're trying to make sure that these organics are then picked up by the Department of Sanitation on a regular schedule, like with your trash and with your regular recycling, and we take that material and we turn it into compost. And some of that material we also turn into energy, but the majority of it is actually turned into compost, which is a soil amendment. You use compost for vegetable gardens, for horticulture, for street trees, for all that type of stuff. So the agency, we're thinking of this as a benefit. Okay? This program, we started in 2013 in small neighborhood pilot districts, essentially, seeing how single-family homes would separate their organics, and then how they would participate in a program like this. Well, starting since last year, we've rolled out to 17 full community boards, and this year, today was our first day of an 8-month expansion, and we're rolling out to 17 additional community boards, with the goal of at the end of 2018 to have a citywide program. Okay, so at this point, our goal is to expand all throughout in May, starting May 1, to all of CB3, CB4, Brooklyn, and then also Queens 1. Now, we'll actually notify all residents about this in a couple of ways. We'll send an official mailer. I brought some of them just to show this official mailer is an oversized postcard. And this is just to kind of explain what's coming to your neighborhood, okay? What items can go inside the bin? Well, that's food scraps, so that's food, stuff that's usable or not. It could be spoiled, it could be getting moldy, it's fruit, meat, bones, dairy, prepared food, any of that kind of stuff. Food soil paper, that's napkins, coffee filters, tea bag, paper plates, pizza boxes, even with the cheese on it. And then yard waste and leaf waste. So that material, that's organics. And it's actually, when it's broken down in the compost process, you actually get the finished compost from it. The second thing everyone should expect is that we're actually delivering these bins to all 1 to 9 unit households. So you don't have to sign up or anything. We're already delivering the bins. You have your address and everything like that. We will not automatically deliver to residents who live on commercial streets. If you are eligible, you just have to go onto our website, nyc.gov/organics, and put in an online application. And the reason for that is because on commercial streets, you have to make sure that there's space for the brown bin to go. Okay. Additionally, we have 2 sizes of bins, and single-family homes would receive 1 13-gallon brown bin, and then 2 to 9 unit buildings would receive one of the larger bins, and they'd share that bin. Additionally, we'd be providing kitchen containers, indoor kitchen caddies, basically. Those are your new garbage cans, kind of what I like to think of them, for every unit of the apartment building. So if there's 6 units in the apartment, they would receive one of the larger bins and 6 individual kitchen caddies for every unit in that apartment. Okay. Service starts in June for BK3. Okay, so we're going to deliver bins throughout the month of May, but the district won't actually start collecting organics until June, and that's just because we're delivering and delivering and delivering. We want to make sure everybody in the district has the receptacles to actually start setting out, and then we'll start collection. So we'll send a second official notice reminding you that collection has actually started in June. For residents who live in buildings with 10 or more units who are eligible to participate, to get one of these free bins, one of these free rodent-resistant bins, you have to go online and actually put in an inquiry form for it. nyc.gov/organics, you'll see that link right there on the page, or you can see them on nyc.gov/request-organic. And why do we have a specific route for high-rises essentially? Well, in high-rises there's building staff, there might be someone who manages all the waste and trash and recycling for your building. On my staff, we actually have people who go to the building, they do what's called a site visit, they talk with the building manager, they talk with the tenants, we set up outreach events inside the building so that we can actually make sure that they know about the program and how to participate in the program. We talk about all the other types of recycling programs that the Department of Sanitation has, so our electronic waste recycling programs, our textile recycling programs, all those other things. But think of those as like a suite of programs. So that's why we separate out the buildings with 10 or more units, but they are completely eligible. And there's another postcard on the table out there. It's got a bin on there right there. So you can see that if you do live in a building with 10 or more units and you're interested in participating. So this program, I speak all over the city of New York as the senior manager for this program about how easy and simple and what everybody is doing right now, you would be doing in this same program, except you're putting it into the organics bin. Sometimes people look at me and say, what are you asking me to do? And well, I'm asking you to separate out your food waste and put it into a brown bin. And so, one, separate out your food scraps, you collect all your food scraps, food soap, paper, your yard waste, all this stuff after tonight. After the meeting, we're going to go home, you're going to have some little bit of dinner, and you're going to throw that out. Well, you can put that inside the little bin that you would have, and then essentially you can take it, and you can line it in any type of way with a compostable bag, paper bag, or grocery bag, and then you put that in the brown bin, and you latch that bin. Okay, so right now, everybody who's doing this, you're just putting it in a trash bag, and that trash bag is going to the curb. We're asking you to put it inside the brown bin so that it can be separated out, collected on the organics route, and then turned into compost. You can also line the brown bin with any liner option that you see here. That's a plastic bag, a compostable bag, or a paper bag. Close and latch the lid. It's very simple. Don't put the little kitchen container on the curb. Just put the brown bin at the curb. But people do this, however, but that's what we're asking you to do. I'm all set. I just wanted to say that if there's any tenant associations or block association meetings that I can speak at for your audience, come, flag me down, grab my card, and thank you for that.
Be available out in the hallway and to answer any of your questions. Thank you. Our second, we have a second.
The second informational presentation is from the Education and Youth Committee, and the introduction will be given by Omaha.
Okay, good evening. I'm Omaha, I represent Education and Youth Committee. We will have a presentation today. There is a proposed co-location by the Department of Education to place a 5th through 8th grade middle school in Old Boys High School that currently houses one GED program, 2 transfer schools for 16 to 21-year-olds, and 1 cluster high school that's serving 14 to 18-year-olds. We have some concerns. And it is also a SCAN school. So we have a presentation will be given by Nicole Greaves and Miriam Roberts, who represent Pathways to Graduation, which is the GED program, and Brooklyn Academy High School, which is the one of the transfer schools. And if they can come up.
Chairman Plateau and Ms. Holloway, and other members of the Community Board 3 serving the Bedford Stuyvesant community. Thank you for allowing us to present it to you all this evening. My name is Nicole Graves, and I am a teacher at Pathways to Graduation. Currently, we are co-located in the Old Boys High School, located on Marcy Avenue, along with Bedford Stuyvesant Preparatory High School, Brooklyn Academy High School, Uncommon Collegiate Charter High School, and the District 75 program. Collectively, these schools have maintained a presence in the community for over 20 years and have serviced thousands of Brooklyn youth during that time. The people that you see here tonight sitting in the back are all supporters of our schools. They are students, current and past, teachers, staff, and parents that are concerned for the future of our schools in our community. Bedford Stuyvesant Preparatory High School and Brooklyn Academy High School are all transfer schools. According to the New York City Department of Education, a transfer school is a small, academically rigorous high school designed to create a personalized learning environment to re-engage students who have dropped out of high school or fallen behind.
My name is Miari Roberts. I'm a teacher at Brooklyn Academy High School. So transfer schools, you might also know them as alternative high schools. We serve students who are 16 to 21 years old, students who are considered to be overaged and undercredited. So many times those students have dropped out of high school, or they've fallen behind in their large traditional high schools. And so transfer schools offer them the opportunity to have small classes and also to have a lot of personalized attention from their teachers. At Brooklyn Academy High School, there are 28% of the students actually have IEPs. So I happen to be the only teacher in my school that works with students, well, I shouldn't say works with students, but writes IEPs. So of 157 students, we currently have 40 students in IEPs. At Bedside Prep, 7% of the students have IEPs, and in that building, there's also a District 75 program that houses 10 to 12 students. Okay, so the two transfer schools in the building are actually two schools that are in good standing. Our graduation rates are within the top 5 of all transfer schools in New York City, and there's currently about 54 transfer schools in New York City. We also offer a Campbell Learning to Work program, which offers most of our young people a part-time internship, so they have the opportunity to work after school in areas where they might be interested. We also have a partnership with NYU Liberty Partnership. We have Columbia Teachers College psychology interns, and they actually come in and do invaluable psychology evaluations, and they offer mental health services. So they actually see about 18 students per week and do 8 evaluations per year. And 8 evaluations per year might not sound like a lot, but it's actually a service that outside of school would actually cost a lot of money. We also offer a teen choice pregnancy prevention program, which also houses a men's and women's group.
So the DOE building utilization plan on February 15th, the Department of Education issued a proposal to reallocate classroom space in the building, which includes consolidating Bedside Prep and Brooklyn High School into one school. That would be a total of 290 students on one school floor. Pathways to Graduation would lose 4 full-size classrooms. There would be a re-site and co-location of Uncommon Brooklyn East Collegiate Charter Middle School into the building. This creates numerous and varied problems. The middle school is currently located in PS 9. The charter school houses 5th to 8th graders, ages 10 to 14. If they were moved into the Old Boys High School, they would be co-located in the same building with 20 to 21-year-olds. At some point in time, inevitably, they would be using the same hallways and stairways. 5th graders, another issue is that 5th graders do not go through the scanners, metal detectors.
This is a major issue. Our building is a scanning building. All of our students go through the metal detectors. A separate entrance would have to be created for the 5th grade students, and that won't necessarily prevent a weapon of some type making it into the building. In the proposal, the Department of Education is also planning for future overcrowding. In the 2021 to 2022 school year, there's a projected building utilization of 96 to 104%. So, what we would be losing? We would be losing 20 full-size rooms, but squeezing in an additional 130 students and approximately 20 staff members. We would be losing dedicated space for computer labs, science labs, art rooms, and resource rooms. We would be losing space for mandated IEP meetings and counseling services for students with special needs. We would lose space for mandated IEP speech services for speech impaired students. We would also have no administration space for any additional guidance counselors and social workers.
What we lose. A place for teachers to go once they vacate their rooms so that another teacher can use their shared classroom, plan, prep, meeting with students, lunch. Space to conduct Campbell Learning Work seminars or orientations for newly enrolled students. NYU Liberty Partnership provides tutoring and academic support. To get to the point, what does a day at Brooklyn Academy High School, Brooklyn Prep, P2G looks like? I'll be taking my lunch about maybe 10:20 in the morning, and this is, true anecdote. This week, a student comes to my door. She's in tears. The minute I see this young lady, I know exactly what's wrong with her. She hasn't been in school for about 2 weeks. She just came from a meeting with the principal, which basically was saying that you are on the verge of maybe not being able to complete your studies here at school. What's happening in her household? She's dealing with a close family member who suffers from mental illness. She doesn't know how her sister will get up in the morning. Therefore, it affects how and when she gets to school, if she gets to school for the day. What I do at 10:21, 10:22, the student comes into my room. We talk. I already am on the phone with the counselor talking about this child is in trouble. We need to keep her in the building. Usually, because of the way that we're staffed, because of the space that's available for these emergencies that occur at least 5 times a week, that kid is still in school by the time that 2:25 is there. That is the whole point to what is going on here. We have a lot of kids who are dealing with outside issues that seep into their academics. We are well staffed enough to deal with those issues. If these mergers go through the way that they want to, our kids lose out. So, next will be Mr. Trent. Okay, let my line speak. Okay, you want to go?
Could you go to the next slide? I'm sorry, we ran out of time.
The next one after this one?
What we would like, could you click to the next one? The next one. I'm sorry, we ran out of time. The next one. The next one. So what we would like very quickly is we would like to stop the merger of Brooklyn Academy and Bedford Prep, stop the re-siding of the middle school into the building, a resolution from Community Board 3 in support of the school. We would also like community members to attend the PEP panel. We have flyers outside on April 25th. Call your local politicians and let people in the community know, and please help to save our schools. The last slide has our contact information, our phone numbers and email addresses. We'll also be standing in the hallway if you have any further questions. We also have flyers on the table about our program. Thank you.
Can we just add quickly that we actually have 3 students who are with us who did get to speak, and they actually have really personal stories that are important. And we'll cut off, but they'll be in the hallway so you can listen to their stories.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. We have 4 public hearings that we have to get through tonight. And we also have some resolutions, I think, coming from landmarks. 2 resolutions. So if you have any additional questions, the path.
Hi. Tonight we're having Ms. Steptoe. She's going to do a presentation on the John Steptoe Culture Center that she wished to have the building that is located as an individual landmark. So, Ms. Steptoe?
Yeah.
So thank you. So Ms. Steptoe?
Yes.
5 minutes.
Hello everyone, how are you? I'm Willa Steptoe, I'm John Steptoe's daughter. He's an author and illustrator of children's books. He's an award-winning author and illustrator of children's books. He was raised in Brooklyn, New York, Bed-Stuy, and I am looking to have the house that he lived in and renovated it and did a lot of his work in landmark. So my father wrote his first book, Stevie, at the age of 16 years old. He was the first Black person at the age of 16 to have his book published in Life magazine and in its entirety, and also to depict the Black culture in as a picture book. So this is the first book, Stevie. He wrote this book because during the time, obviously, in the 50s, there were a lot of children's books being created with people of color in it. And this is the house that we lived in. He lived in 840. My grandmother bought 2 houses, 840 and 840A on Rose Street. And this is basically our basically, he wrote stories according to the things that he experienced in his life and our experience as Black people. So these are some of his books that he wrote and illustrated. Train Ride was also displayed in the Transit Museum after my father's death. This is another book that he wrote, my Aunt Marcia, and this is my Aunt Marcia in front of the house, about her being a teenager and becoming pregnant.
Oh, okay.
And one of the books that you probably know and he's most famous for is My Father's Beautiful Daughters, I'm the Model. And that book, the book has been in print for over 30 years. And it was also adapted into a play that toured nationwide for 3rd season with the Dallas Children's Theater. Let's see. And this is myself as well as my cousin in front of Monroe Street. And my father used to take pictures of us first, and then that's how he created the stories. It's not good. Thanks. And that's my grandmother, who purchased both homes on Monroe Street. Okay, and this is the, sorry, that was the Society of Illustrators honoring my father for his work. He's also in, thank you, if you can, and and this is, my father is also acknowledged in the Celebrity Path at the Brooklyn Botanical Gardens for his work. And this is at the Schomburg. He was honored during Heritage Weekend for his work, and I actually got to meet Malcolm X's wife, Ben Shabazz, Maya Angelou, and Coretta Scott King all at the same time. So that was like a really cool experience. And I was, there's a school named after my father, PS 181. It's on New York between Snyder and Tilden. Okay. I think I missed one. And there's I'll just say it. Raymond Bush Park, they have in the park, if you ever see the artwork in the park hanging up, that's from my father's book, Stevie. And in 2016, I had the street co-named after my father with the help of Community Board 3. And all right, so that was Raymond Bush Park with the images hanging in the park of my father's artwork. It's on Monroe and Monroe and Marcus Garden. Yeah. So all of these things and all of these places have acknowledged my father for his work, and I am honored to have him as my father. And I would like to now have the house landmarked in honor of him. And I plan to have I've already started a non-for-profit organization in honor of my father, the John Lewis Detto Cultural Center. So, I mean, since all these other public places have acknowledged my father, I feel that having a cultural center in his home, where he lived, where he worked, where he actually renovated in his own art style would be a great honor to him, and to keep his legacy alive and to share art with other children. That's my father, and that's my uncle, Charles, who inspired the book Stevie. So that I think is it. And I just want to show you more books that my father created. 17 books in his career, 22 years. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so we're going to have a public hearing now. And I guess I want to take the mic over there. Okay, we'll start with questions from the community board members. If you could please speak into the mic. Anyone who speaks and give your name first.
My name is Gregory Glasgow, and I have a question. The father is very distinguished in the work that he did, but you're asking to have a building landmark, and you did not show us any pictures of the current building to show any distinguishing features of the building of why the building should be landmarked.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I was rushing. It would be considered a cultural landmark because of the fact that my father lived in the building. He also renovated the building, so the outside of the building is not the importance of the building, because I know that usually when you're landmarking, you landmark for like architectural reasons, but this is a cultural landmark. So it would be because of the fact that someone who contributed to the neighborhood, the community, the world, because his books are published all over the world and in different languages, that this is someone who made a difference in a lot of people's lives. And that's why it's important to keep the culture and his memory in the neighborhood.
Hi, Dr. Deborah Lamb. I'm asking for clarification. On your PowerPoint, it said the address is 840, yet on our agenda, it says that the address is 840A. And looking at Google Houses, I see two different types of houses. One is well-maintained and the other is abandoned and boarded up. Which house is it?
All right, so my grandmother purchased two houses, 840 and 848. My father lived in both of those houses, and the last house before he passed away was in 848. So that is the house that I want to have as the cultural center. I am going to re-renovate the house and have it as the home for the cultural center. and the museum because of the fact that he actually did the artwork and constructed the house in his own art style.
Hello.
Hello?
Over here.
Okay. Sorry, okay.
Yeah, Sadie Duque, Hancock Street. So I know that in Harlem, Winston Hughes' resident is so demarcated. I don't know if it's landmarked. Can you tell us of any other folks that you might be aware of where this has happened? Are you aware of it?
I know in Queens, there was another house that was also landmarked but I thought it actually was Langston. I thought that was actually Langston. Sorry.
That's Louis Armstrong.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm sorry. I asked him one question. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. All right, thank you.
I'm sorry. So if you're looking for it to be
Please give your name.
sorry, Simone Pratt. If you're looking for cultural landmark status, are you looking for it to be a museum? Are you looking for a plaque? Like,
Right, that's what I was saying. I'm looking for it to be a museum/cultural center where I would basically, like my father used to hand out books, share his stories with the children in the neighborhood, so I would do the same as well as provide art classes and architectural classes, things that my father was interested in, fashion, or, just a variety of different things to provide to the community at low cost or free.
will you also be providing the plans for that as well? Or
When you say the plans for that, I already started the non-for-profit, the cultural center, so I already started it. So right now I go to schools, I go to libraries, and I share who my father was, and somehow I have workshops where I teach art classes to the schools. So it would just be the home of where we would have the base for everything.
Okay, if there are no further questions, we're going to move on to our, thank you very much. And we're going to move to our next public hearing. We have 3 public hearings from the Economic Development Committee, so I'm going to ask Mr. Taiwan Anthony can introduce those public hearings.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Again, my name is Tom Anthony. Currently, right now, we have a alcohol beverage control license application for Swings Restaurant LLC, and they are located at 1542 Fulton Street, and that's between Troop and Marcus Garvey Boulevard. Presentation will be given by Mr. Nelson.
Good evening, my name is George Nelson. I'm representing Swings. Over to the mic, please. I'm representing Swings, the restaurant that is, as it's indicated, that's on Fulton between Kingston and Albany. Basically, it's not Jamaican, but West Indian American cuisine. Okay, how's that? It's a Jamaican American West Indian cuisine. Basically, the background of it's a restaurant, really not a bar. So we were hoping to help our patrons along if they wanted a drink or two. The background of the family is basically they're restaurateurs. They've been in the business in excess of 30 years. You probably know them in Brooklyn as Sal's. They've had restaurants on Fulton and Flatbush, Utica, and Kingston. Currently, they've been at Ralph Avenue between Foster and I believe that's Rutland and Avenue H. That is for more than 20 years. For more than 20 years. They also have a takeout restaurant that they've been there for been open for about 5 years on Fatlands and Rimson. So they're in the restaurant business, as I indicated, they're restaurant tours. I know the board might be, I've heard in the past that some of the board members were worried about people coming in and leaving. However, Swings has intends to be here to provide first-class restaurant service. They've got a lease dating right now for 10 years. So if you have any questions, we'll try to help. Mrs. McGibbon is the one of the owners, and will manage the restaurant.
Hello, good evening. My name is Sharika McGibbon. I'm the owner for Swings Restaurant. Here we have a few pictures. Right now we are under construction, so it's under construction. It's empty right now. But I can slow it down for you. Okay, so this will be the front of the menu. Swings Restaurant, 1542 Fulton. The menu, appetizers, and our dinner plates, and our side orders, and that's our prices. This is in front, we renovated. It was just one door and a shed. Right now we have 2 open doors here, 2 open doors and an open door here. So we have 2 open doors where a lot of fresh air will come in throughout the summer. This right here will be where we serve drinks, our fresh drinks, mixed drinks, fresh fruit drinks. You can see like almost 8 to 10 people here. Alongside this wall here will be the benches where we will have tables and chairs. This area here will be the seating area. We can hold about 45 to 50 people. Again, this is the dining area from the back to the front. Again, back to the front. This is the front from the entrance to the back. Again, this is our dining area where we can see about 45 to 50 people. That's our bar. Okay, here will be the kitchen where we serve food, and the 2 bathrooms, men and women.
Basically, we understand that there are 2 churches in the area. One of them has given us an approval to back us up. The other, we haven't been able to contact. We've made numerous attempts to talk to them, but we haven't been able to. In view of that, originally we were going to apply for an on-premises liquor license. Since we haven't spoken to the other church, we decided that we were going to apply for a restaurant wine license. So we won't have spirits on the premises. If anybody was worried about,
Okay, so you're saying you're not applying for
a hard liquor, no, we're applying for a restaurant wine.
Okay, so our policy has been that we don't generally have public hearings if we're not applying for.
our intentions were applied for that. However, basically, since we couldn't get the cooperation of one of the churches, there are two churches within 200 feet. Since we couldn't get one of those cooperation, we decided to downgrade our application.
The current application for a license, until they apply for a beer and wine, they still full liquor license what they're applying for. What we found out, the church, that's at their 1542, the church at 1532. Right, I checked the Department of Buildings and the Department of Finance as house of worship. So they're less than 200 feet from it. But right now, they're still currently applying as a full liquor license.
We haven't submitted an application as of yet. We couldn't submit an application until 30 days after we notified the board. So we haven't submitted an application. Our intention was to apply for a full liquor license.
Right, 30 day notice, they plan to apply for full liquor license, 30 day notice.
Okay, so you have to amend that because of the 200-foot rule, which says that you can't have.
We haven't submitted an application as of today. We realize that. That's why we're downgrading.
Okay. So it's just beer and wine?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
What you been doing?
Well, what did you submit, what did they submit to the economic development?
A full liquor license,
That was correct, as I indicated. We were applying for a full liquor license. We contacted the churches. One of the churches wouldn't cooperate. We can't speak to them. They won't talk to us. Therefore, we decided we were going to downgrade our application. We haven't submitted an application to the liquor authority due to the fact that they don't accept applications until 30 days after the board has been notified.
Right.
So when we do submit an application, it will be for a restaurant wine license.
Okay.
Not, yes, wine and beer.
Okay, so again, it's been a policy of the board that you don't have public hearings for beer and wine, but I guess the issue is, how is the application going to be submitted? How do we ensure that you're just putting in for beer and wine?
We'll send you a copy of it, a hand carry.
We as the board still have to say something. Y'all, we have to say something about the current application.
Can we table it? Yeah, the only problem is there's a deadline, so if we don't take any action on something.
Can we get on this presentation and come back?
Okay, we're gonna table it temporarily and pick it up again at the end of these public hearings. All right, thank you very much. Okay, we're going to have our second public hearing for liquor license for 1215 Bedford Avenue. Introduction will be given by Taiwan Anthony, Chair of the Economic Development.
Hello, good evening again. Out of the Economic Development Committee, we have alcohol beverage control license application for an establishment called The Bill, Brooklyn LLC. They'll be located at 1215 Bedford Avenue. That's between Hancock Street and Paulding Street. Presentation will be given by Mr. Barnes, who is the owner.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Roman Barnes. My attorney.
Good evening, all.
My name is Lawrence Silverman, General Counsel for the bill for the city. The bill leased spaces 1215 Bedford Avenue to BklynBridges, and we are seeking. I'm sorry, I have a little bit of a cough, I apologize.
Speak into the mic.
Of course. The bill is located at 1215 Bedford Avenue. I'm General Counsel. Mr. Barnes to my left is the General Principal. We also have with us today Roger Thomas, who is the Director of Operations. And so what I'd like to ultimately do is testing Mike, who's the owner of the premises.
Good evening, everyone. I'm a father of 5. I'm a banker during the day, and it's always been my dream to open up my own restaurant. And I've always wanted to do it in Bed-Stuy because Bed-Stuy has so much culture and richness. So I am speaking with my director of operations. We've been planning this thing for about a year now, and a few things inspired me. One, about a year ago, I started teaching my daughter how to cook. And, she's into ballet and doing all kinds of stuff. Now she's watching cooking channels and wanting to be a chef. She's 10 years old. She makes a mean rasta pasta, okay? But the Ville is a regional Caribbean restaurant, and we want to, invite so many different cultures within to what we're doing there. This is the current location, the exterior. Close up. 1215 Bedford, and this is the interior. This is facing the rear of the current location. This is the basement, the backyard. Exterior. So this is what we plan on doing. We're going to soften up the landscape. We want to add trees to the outside and create a new front. This is the end. This is looking in from the street. This is the interior. And I'm going to have Roger go into, he's my director of operations. I'm going to have him go a little bit more into our menus and things that we're going to do in the bill. Oh, just one last thing. My daughter inspired me in something that I insisted with Roger that we must do in the location. We want to do children cooking classes. I saw her, how she grew in the last 6 months wanting to become a chef. And so one of the things that we want to do in the community at this location is to hold free cooking classes for children in the neighborhood. Thank you.
Hi guys. So the Ville is a regional Caribbean restaurant, cocktail bar. That's not a common term, but what it means basically is that it draws on the traditions of all the different regions that heavily influence the Caribbean. East Indian, Latin, Asian, African, Middle Eastern. You don't normally think of that in the Caribbean, but there's heavy Syrian, Lebanese influence in cooking in the Caribbean, as well as native Arabic Caribbean Carib cultures. And of course, British, French, Spanish, and American flavors as well. The name Ville, comes from French and Latin origin, and it means village, essentially. Incidentally, one of the board directors mentioned that, reminded me that Bedford Village was that local area, so it's an interesting that the two things kind of came together. It's a Tapas style menu, and as I mentioned, Caribbean cocktails using fresh fruit juices and the likes. This is another view of the location from the back, looking forward. You kind of have another perspective on it. Just one of the things that Rohan mentioned that he's extremely passionate about is we're calling it the Kids Cultural Food Exchange. And the idea there is to basically help influence kids about other cultures that inspire them and just kind of have an understanding and a learning and expose them to different cultures. We also intend to do things like Caribbean jazz brunch, salsa dance classes, art exhibits, comedy, movies, and of course some sporting events and the like. This is a view of the rear yard. It's about 450 square feet or so. We'll have about 11 tables, so about 22 people in the backyard. It's about 400 square feet, the interior space. Total seating is about 74, 52 inside, and 22 on the outside during the summer months. We plan to hire locally, staff of approximately 13 people, and the backyard is closed promptly at 11 p.m. every night. We are a neighborhood-friendly establishment, and we intend to do that. We will have security nightly and posted our hours of operations on there as well. We want to introduce others to the local community, generate revenue for our local communities, the cultural exchange, as I mentioned before, provide a healthy approach to cooking food, tree landscape, and source things locally, food, services, staff, etc. These are our principles. We've been through our team, we have maybe 25 years or so of restaurant experience, doing live events, managing bars. Our security team has been in business about 25 years, so we're well versed in all facets of what's needed to. Okay, this is just a quick layout of the floor plan, and then the basement area, which is predominantly just storage space essentially. And we'll take a look at the real estate area, apartments and churches and so forth, and there are many new churches. There is a new church that's next door now that just came into existence after we started our planning. We've reached out to them. They've given us a very, very strong letter of support. They plan to be at our opening to give us a blessing on opening. And we plan on doing some food initiatives and potentially a gospel brunch with them as well. So that's kind of a quick overview. Menu and so forth is there. Happy to take any questions.
Okay, we're going to go into our public hearing. Any questions from board members? Any questions from the public? And before you give your question, if you can please state your name for the record. Thank you.
I have a question, man.
Yes, good evening. Very interesting plans.
What's your name?
Robert Smith. Pardon that. I'm cold. I saw in your announcement that you plan to have salsa classes, which is very interesting because in that immediate area, nobody's doing it. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that? Because in order to offer that type of program, you've got to have the music, you've got to have the floor, you've got to have the appropriate. I mean, you just can't do that.
Right. Yeah, so I was trying to think of it more of a, I'm not sure how many events you've been to, but like you go to a restaurant, a bar, and there's an more informal structure where there's someone who's giving directions and encouraging people to have a night of dancing, of salsa dancing, more than formal structure type of class environment.
Hey, Tana Evans. I just have a comment. I can speak to the owner's strong sense of real estate and support for the community. So I just want to say that.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Hi, Jamala State Board Member. In order to have dancing, don't you need a cabaret license for that?
The law changed now to dancing, so dancing is permitted in establishments now. That just changed 2 months ago.
Any more questions from the floor?
We got one question over here.
Yes, what are your hours of operation? My name is Cigar Spins.
We have a slide. That's okay.
I know.
Yeah, so the hours of operation are Monday to Thursday, 10 a.m. we plan on doing lunch daily till 2 a.m. And then on Fridays and Saturdays, we plan on opening a little bit later till about 3 a.m. I'm sorry, till 3 a.m. Thank you. And then on Saturdays and Sundays, during the season, we plan on doing English Premier League soccer games or football. And so those games typically start at 7:30. If anyone who plays football, you're up at 7:30 watching German Bundesliga or English Premier League like myself. So we'll be doing some of that prior to brunch hours, and then on Sunday nights we'll be closed at 2 a.m.
Any other questions? If not, thank you very much for your presentation.
Thank you.
Okay, our third public hearing from the Economic Development Committee, introduced again by the chair, Mr. Taiwan.
Again, good evening, everyone. So this is the third and the last public hearing for SLA application. Alcohol beverage control license application for Bar Lights LLC. And they'll be doing business as Nevadas. So that's Nevadas. Located at 1177 Bedford Avenue. That's between Jefferson and Putnam. Presentation will be given by Mr.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Calvin Clark. I know you're familiar with the act. She said, "Wow, that actually sounds familiar. That sounds like Bedford Hall." It is Bedford Hall. I am the former owner of Bedford Hall. I'd be like, "What? No, Bedford Hall." Well, I used to be a preacher. I figured I could just not check. But so we had a pipe break in January. Did damage. And okay, from the camera. Okay. And I think, sometimes it's time to push the restart button. And that's what I'm doing. We had some issues with, a lot of things went great with Bedford Halls. It's a community place. We did a lot of community things, and it was wonderful. But the service sucked. Oh, you know that. We know that too. So I apologize to the community for that. I appreciate your support over the years. But I am going to be turning that business over to Xavier, who is one of my managers at another establishment I own, Bedford Halls, O's. I sit on the Von King Board, Conservancy Board, Von King Park. I'm also a member of 500 Men. I've owned Langston's in the community for 18 years. And I really have appreciated the support that the people of Bedford Stuyvesant have given Bedford Halls. But I will be acting as a consultant there. I also will be head of events. We will continue to do wonderful things in the community that we did do. We did a lot of fundraising. We did a lot of community things. As if some of you have been there, you have been to some of the events there where we're always about community. Well, you may not know if you've ever been there. If you look on the walls, all the pictures are about Bedford Stuyvesant. It really tells the history of Bedford Stuyvesant. If you just take the time to look there from the late 1800s to the current day, it celebrates the citizens of Bedford Stuyvesant, and we want to continue to do that. And I'm very excited to be turning this establishment over to my manager at Mo's and my friend Xavier.
Good evening. My name is Xavier Ezel. I'm currently the manager of Mo's Fort Greene. I see a few faces that I'm familiar with, some I'm not. However, I'm the general manager at Mo's, and I'm now the owner of the previous Bedford Hall. The new establishment is called Nevadas. I'm going to be keeping the same theme for Bedford Hall. I'm not going to change anything. I love the exterior. I was part of the construction crew organization of Bedford Hall when it was being constructed and thought out. So I'm here to take it over and work on the customer service model. I'm married. I'm a father of 6. I've been in the banking industry for 14 years. I've been in the restaurant industry for 12 years. So when I was banking, I was still working in the restaurant and alcohol and beverage industry. I'm very excited. I'm a little nervous first time speaking publicly for overall, but I'm glad to be here and I thank you for having me. So Nevadas, what we're going to do is I'm going to start focusing on weddings at Nevada's Bar. It's a great space, a beautiful space we have that Calvin created, and we're going to take it over. We're going to keep it going. The most part, we're going to have live music, more live bands, more local artists. I'm looking for local artists.
We're currently working with Lincoln Center to do a satellite jazz night. So they're working with us there. The Lincoln Center Foundation wants to do a jazz night there. So we're currently working with them to start a jazz night, which they will be funding. So we're very excited.
Yes, but again, local artists as well. So if you guys know anyone who want to come to Bedford, Nevada's to perform, it all depends on what it is. You know, we want artists. I noticed that there's a lot of artists in the neighborhood, in Bedford, the Glen Hill, Fort Greene areas. There's a lot of artists, and we're looking for all artists to come out and showcase their talent. That's what we're looking for, and especially weddings. Oh yeah, and again, I apologize. My 2-year-old spilled my coffee on my laptop this morning, so I wasn't able to bring my Mac for the presentation. I sincerely apologize for that. And I wasn't able to transfer the data to another computer, so again, I apologize for that.
The board members are circulating the books.
Yeah, we circulated 2 books for you guys. Some pictures. I try to retract all I can from my phone. And yeah, so I'm excited to open my first business, especially in Bedford, Stuyvesant, excuse me. My family has been living here for decades, since the 60s in South Carolina, so I'm pleased, I'm excited. My sister's excited, she lives in the area, my brothers live in the area, everyone is excited. I have an affinity for the food and beverage industry. If anyone has been to Mo's, you know the order and the tone that I set, the structure, and the customer service that I present. And I'm excited right now. So
I'm excited for you.
So
you finished your presentation? All right, so we're going to take questions. Start with any questions from the community board.
Have any questions?
Anyone have any questions? Raise your hand.
We have one question here from
Okay, we have one from the community board member, then we'll go to the public.
I'm Omaha, and actually live in the Bedford home. Looking at your packet, well, 2 things. Love the decor, Bedford Hall, did a lot of the community, but what is the plan to change the service? Because I didn't really hear that. And 2, I'm looking at some of the signatures, but it looks like there's very few people who live in the community. That in terms, I see a couple of folks, but I don't see a lot of signatures from people in the community. And so I don't know what outreach or conversation with people in the neighborhood.
Well, we did our list with.
Okay, to the mic.
We did our list through Wayne from 500 Men, so he handled that part for us. So he's very entrenched in the community. He Magnolia Tree, if you're familiar with it. And so I did not. We both had lists. We decided we would just submit one list as opposed to we were all generating this, and we just submitted that list. So I did not look over it. Wayne handled that part of it, and so he knows thousands of people in the community, so I did not look at it in detail.
Okay, you have a question over here?
I got one thing here, back here.
Good evening, Stephanie Zinnerman. Can you talk to me a little bit about what your menu is going to look like now? And then I don't know if you mentioned what your hours are going to be. Are they going to be the same as well?
Yeah, the hours are going to be the same. We're going to be from 12 p.m. to 4 a.m. Fridays and Saturdays. We're going to close at, we're going to go from 3 p.m. to 1 a.m. from Monday to Thursday, Sunday to Thursday.
We've been in it over the 4 years that we've been in the community. We've been there 4 years. We haven't had any issues. We don't even require, Bedford Hall doesn't even require security. That's the kind of place it is and will continue to be. So Nevada will not, it's just when you come there, it's a place for grown folks. We don't do pat downs, we just make sure you're 21 to drink, and it'll continue to operate like that. So even though we've been often stayed open to 4 o'clock, if you live in a building that has, it's housed in a building that has 60 apartments above it, and we coexist with those tenants well, peacefully. And Walter Wilson is also one of our co-partner. He's a retired teacher of 22 years from District 7, and he's a community activist and very entrenched and involved in the community also. He is a part of our team as one of the owners.
The menu?
The menu, we gotta keep it, I'm gonna be changing it up. We're gonna keep most of the menu from Bedford Hall, the traditional wings, mussels. We're gonna go with, we're gonna keep the most bar finger foods. We're gonna keep those. But we're gonna be adding, we're gonna be bringing the macaroni and cheese back. I'm trying to bring salmon to the menu, more health conscious, gluten-free products. I'm actually currently trying to get a coal oven. It's, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Table 87. It's a pizza, a cold pizza. Well, they have a product that we can produce, mass produce cold pizza. It's a replica, but it's not, goes in the conveyor belt, and it's fresh pizza like you had Cold 87. It tastes phenomenal. If you've been to Table 87, then you guys will know what I'm talking about. It's great pizza, and that's something else that we're trying to bring to the menu.
Okay, we have another question from the public.
So I just wanted to say Orlando Ross.
What's your name?
Orlando Ross. Right on 133 Quincy Street. So I have a question about the entertainment. You said that you have an entertainment plan that you're going to bring forth. You're going to make it online. Have you decided to, have you considered researching and trying to connect with Long Island University and different universities in the area that do have a music program like them? And how are you going to be doing like open mics? Could you speak more about the entertainment and how it's going to impact the community?
So currently, I'm not sure we're going to be having an open mic. The thing that we're working most of the ticket now is jazz night, and we'll be having some other live music. We're not extensively going to be a music venue every night, but the main focus is that we're going to have 1 to 2 nights of jazz in connection with Lincoln Center.
Any other questions? We got one over here.
My name is Marcus Harris, and I don't believe that we answered the question as far as the customer service. When it comes down to it, are you actually retraining the staff that's currently there, or are you getting new staff members? As someone who's been there a couple of times, I know I was never really happy with the customer service, and my tip reflected that, but I just need to know what's going forward.
Thank you for that. We will be hiring new staff locally and abroad. Also, I will bring a few of our staff members back. And we're going to be introducing a whole customer service training. So I'm aware of customer service. That's something that a lot of people bring to my attention. It's something that I've seen myself that I know that we need to change, and we will change it. And I'm going to take that comment and change that for you. And I apologize for that previously.
So, just in case you didn't hear my apology, I deeply apologize for the bad customer service at Bedford Hall.
All right, any other questions? If not, I thank you very much for your presentation. We're going to be moving on.
Thank you.
Yeah, can the economic development committee call this quickly outside?
Okay, we're going to move on to our community announcements, and please keep your remarks to 2 minutes or less. Mr. James and Clarence Williams. Is Officer Davis here? Okay, I just wanted to acknowledge that you made it. It's Katrina Coleman. Michael Freeman.
Good evening. My name is Michael Freeman. I'm the chapter leader of Pathways to Graduation. You heard an excellent presentation earlier by Nicole Graves and Miriam Roberts on the relocation of a charter school into Marcy Avenue campus and how it would affect both the school, all those schools involved. It would, as was said earlier, it would take 2 transfer schools and make them into 1. They would lose 1 floor. They would lose 4 out of 10 classrooms. 4 out of 10 classrooms, an administrative office and storage space for Pathways to Graduation. That would really decimate the program. I just want to add one thing. I know more about Pathways to Graduation than the 2 transfer schools, although they do fabulous work, and we work very well with them. But I want to just give, I know a little bit more about Pathways to Graduation, so I want you to know that not only do we serve the students who are in the hub, but or in that campus, but we are also the hub and the referral center for all Brooklyn. That's really an important thing. Being the hub means that, and being the referral center means every time a student comes in who is either an immigrant or who has dropped out of school, they go to our referral center, they get tested, we get to see where they are, they get counseled, and then they get sent either to Pathways to Graduation or some other school like a transfer school throughout Brooklyn. There are innumerable number of students who have been involved in that program. I can't even tell you how many, because they come in, they go out, and we do a fabulous job of educating these students. We're the hub. Earlier this evening, something was mentioned about Youth Build. Youth Build, and they mentioned that they have a GED program there. That's us. 2 of our teachers work at Youth Build. We call it Dreams, and that's one of many programs throughout Brooklyn. We have 1,000 students. Being the hub, it means that they have a connection with the Marcy Avenue campus. So I just want you to understand that there's so much involved in our program, and I want you to understand that you are not only destroying Marcy Avenue, the Marcy Avenue site itself, but the over 1,000 students throughout Brooklyn, plus the referral center. Thank you very much.
Dr. Robert Smith, please, and if you could be ready to speak, 2 minutes max. Christopher James, Clarence Williams, and last will be Athena. Please.
Good evening. I'm here this evening representing an organization called Footsteps to Follow. Footsteps to Follow is a group of professionals who are active within the community here in Brooklyn and throughout a large part of the city, mirroring their experiences from their daydreams to the dreams of reality, the steps, missteps, trips, falls, and other steps on the way to success. Tonight, I'm here to announce a scholarship opportunity that the organization sponsors on an annual basis. Eligible students are those ascending, that is graduating from high school to the first year of college, and first year college students who intend to pursue their degrees into the second year full-time. For more information about this particular program, you can go to www.footstepstofollow.com. The deadline for this application is May 15th. And Mr. Chairman, with your permission, I'd like to leave you a copy of this.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Smith. Is Christopher James here? Clarence Williams.
Good afternoon to everyone. I represent
I represent Veterans Action Group Buffalo Soldiers of America. And the pay coming on better. When I got discharged to go to the employment office, to the welfare, they didn't care. So we have taken the initiative to upgrade discharges. When they're not honorable, we give help to veterans who need help. Of course, we give help for veterans who need housing. And these are some of the things that we're doing. We just moved into our office at 677 Lafayette Avenue, where Wayne is the landlord. And phones, I don't remember the phone. It's an 800 number, and we are doing a fundraiser. You have to give them time because I had a stroke. At Applebee's, across the walk here, April the 19th, it'll be to continue from 1 month. By the time they open to they close, we will get 10% of the proceeds together. That's better.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Thank you for your service to our country. Athena Beasley. Okay, Stephanie Zimmerman.
Good evening. I'm here today in my role as Vice President for Membership for Vanguard Independent Democratic Association. How many people know that there are 38 lawyers who have applied to become judges in our county in the upcoming election? All right, just 2. Okay, so please come on out and be the candidates this coming Wednesday, 2 days from now, over at Basquiat Bottle. They will be there to talk about why they believe that they are qualified to sit on either the civil circuit or Supreme Court in Kings County. The second announcement I have today is that we are now recruiting 17-year-olds to work the polls. So, any 17-year-old who is going to be, so if they're 16 now, they're going to be 17 at the time of the elections. The first election is when? June 26th. Does everybody know that June 26th is the congressional and the U.S. Senate election. And then we have September 13th and November 6th. So please circulate this. We need our young people civically engaged, and this is a good way for them to do so and get paid. And finally, we have our upcoming orientations for VITA. So if you are a new member and have not been trained, or if you're interested in joining the only Democratic club left on this side of Brooklyn, which has been around for 45 years, please come out this Saturday on the 7th. Thank you very much for your time.
If you have any questions, just see her home. Athena Beasley, last but not least.
Hey, everyone, we have some Girl cookies left. We have Savannah Smiles, tag-alongs, and s'mores. And we have a super sale. It's going to be $3 for a box since they're the last cookies.
All right. Roll call.
Well, today, Callaway is excused. Felicia Alexander. Taiwan Anthony. He's here, right? Dr. Kim Best. Anthony Roosevelt. Ivy Gamble Cobb, Evelyn Collier, Pastor Gwendolyn Dingle, Taina Evans, Mark Pissell, he's here, right? Richard Plateau, Sharon Forbes, Keith Forrest, he's here, right? Keith Forrest, yes. Gregory Glasgow, Sheehan Greenfeld is excused, Mary Jameson Head, Kimberly Hill, Oma Holloway, Everett Hughes is excused, Denise Iriarte, Edna Johnson, Dr. Curleen Johnson, yes, she's here. Dr. Deborah Lamb, Mary Little, Dionisia Liz is excused, Marty Joe Long, W. Matthews, Kenneth Abuno, he's here. Colette Moorhead is excused, Aldika Murray, Melissa Clouden Norman, thank you, Rebecca Payton, Santina Payton, Simone Pratt, C. Doris Penn, Karen Rao, Stacy Ruffin, here. Shakira Shaheed is excused, Suzette Shepard, Jamel Swift, Chinelu Udo, she's absent, I believe. Omar Walker is here. Reverend Dr. Robert Waterman is excused. Shanita Wells, absent. Douglas Williams, and T.J. Wilson.
Okay, while we're verifying the form, we're gonna move on to committee updates and resolutions. Any reports from the committee chairs? And if not, we'll move on to the resolutions. We got, okay.
Very quickly, for the Education and Youth Committee, if committee members, if you see in your packet, we are starting the nominations for the Best Advanced Guide. This is an opportunity to nominate the best principals, the best parent coordinators. There's a list of different nominations for schools that are in Community Board 3, which covers 3 different districts. So on April 16th, the official link will be up for people to nominate. The actual ceremony for those who will be awarded will be on Brooklyn Queens Day, June 7th. Thank you.
Thank you. So we have 30 present, 16 absent. We have a quorum. Any other committee reports? Okay, we're going to move on to resolutions. We have Landmarks Committee Chair will give the 2 resolutions.
Hi, Evelyn Collier, Chair of the Landmark Committee. I'm going to give an update for my committee. There's 2 hearings coming up on April 17th. 375 Stuyvesant, which is one of the resolutions that we're having tonight. There will be a hearing at Landmark Preservation on April 17th at 800 Marcy, which we had 2 months ago. We had the resolution we presented here. On 327, we had a hearing from Landmark. It was a hearing in reference to changing the rules and regulations and making a lot of changes at the staff level. There was no decision because they had a lot of concerns from the community and the public. So there will be another date they will schedule to address the final decision. Today we have 2 resolutions. 375 Stuyvesant Avenue, that's between Decatur Street and Bainbridge Avenue. The application, I'm sorry, Bedford Street, my correction. Please correct me. The applicant is seeking to erect a 5-story structure on the Gator Street side of the corner mansion site and to demolish an existing 2-door masonry garage building, which was damaged by fire in 2014. They met before our committee on February the 9th. It was presented by Tyler Smith and Jordan Grove of DXA Studio. It was presented before the Land Use Committee. This is a historic mansion with landscape grounds situated within the Stuyvesant Heights Historic District. It was designated in 1971, built in 1915, and designed by Kirby and Petty. The property was built by Otto Seidinger and later owned by Dr. Josephine English, an African-American gynecologist and healthcare activist who was the first Black woman to open private practice in New York. The building is locally referred to as the Stuyvesant Heights Mansion. It was used for many years as the Stuyvesant Heights Senior Citizen Center, also operated by Dr. English. The committee comments are: the applicant seeks to remove the historic 2-car garage, which was the first of its kind in the important automotive history of Brooklyn. The applicant seeks to remove the existing structure to create a site for a 5-story apartment building to be attached to the historic mansion. 375 Stuyvesant is one of 3 detached and freestanding landmark mansion structures engarded in the Stuyvesant Heights Historic District. It is designed in the Renaissance Revival style, but with an unusual prairie-style element, including the garage. Designed to include access for personal automobile, the garage was an important element in the program for spectacular residents. Currently owned by Dr. Josephine English heirs, Dr. English was the first licensed Black gynecologist, stated before, in New York. Dr. English was a trailblazing doctor, businesswoman, community activist, and served the community well by providing significant institution of art and culture for the enrichment of her community. The applicant proposes addition of glass parlor windows to narrow the proposed 35 feet wide building to narrow brownstone townhouses on Decatur Street. The main mansion building will seek no change of use. It is to maintain community use and a top floor residence. The garage is attached to and was built as part of the mansion. The historically significant garage is the oldest automobile garage in Stuyvesant Heights. The criteria which applies to evaluating a landmark structure should be required in all aspects for assessing changes to this unique and historical building and its associated garage. Resolution. On February 9, 2018, Landmark and Preservation Committee voted to reject the overall design. We feel that removal of the historic garage to build a new 5-story development on the spot would significantly alter the mansion's landmark and historical significance. It will compromise and diminish the context and aesthetic integrity of a very significant mansion in this beautiful historic district. Therefore, the action is, the Landmark and Preservation Committee is asking the CB3 full board to support our resolution to reject the application, building a new 5-story development within the spot and attached to this mansion will significantly alter the mansion's landmark and historical significance. It will compromise and diminish the context and aesthetic integrity of our very significant Stuyvesant Heights historic district. We thank you for the opportunity to review the project.
Is there a motion on the resolution? Moved by Ms. Ed, seconded by Ms. Claudette Dormish. Any questions on the motion? Yes. You have a mic?
Talk to the mic.
And I think everybody can hear me.
No, I need you on the system. I need you on the system.
I just have a question. You're talking about a garage that's been damaged by fire and is historically significant. I'm wondering how can it be the same when it's already been damaged?
Well, you can have a house that can burn, and it doesn't mean that the house is not important, and you would try to restore it. So that's what we feel it should be restored.
But who is the current owner that would be restoring it?
It will be Dr. English family will be restoring it.
So they still own the property?
Well, actually, the current owner, who presently is trying to present this project, is considering themselves as an owner. If they get to destroy it, they will build this apartment building. If not, then it will be left to the family to do the renovations.
Okay, you got another question?
Yeah, question in the back.
And if you can give your name first?
Deborah Lamb, you mentioned that the current owner, or the person who is claiming to be current owner, could you please state who that current owner is?
His name is, his son, I mean, other than the son?
Yes.
It's the person that's connected to the development of this project is claiming to be the owner. So if he gets access to the lot that's behind it, he's claiming not the owner of the building, but the owner of the lot that's behind the building to build a 5-story building.
And his name is?
I have to get his name.
Isn't there only one lot?
I'm sorry?
Okay, if you could ask the question into the mic, go to the mic.
I'm moving slow, but I'm coming.
And if you can give your name first.
Janella Swift, isn't there only one lot? How is he claiming to own only the lot in the back by the garage?
That's the lot they want to build on.
But there's only one lot.
That's the lot.
The house and the garage, or just the house and then the garage?
The lot is, the entrance is on Decatur Street and is directly behind the building. And if they take away the garage, it would enlarge it to like 10,000 feet so they can erect this 5-story building. So that's where the lot is.
I repeat, who is the owner?
And I said to you, I have to look up the name, it's in my notes.
Okay.
I understand you asked, but I said I have
Any
to look
other
it up.
questions here?
Any other questions? All right.
Yeah.
Just to clarify, does the lot where the house is on include the space for the garage? Is that one lot, or is the garage on a separate lot?
The house and the garage is connected.
Is it one lot?
One lot, yes. So if they remove it, it becomes part of the other lot.
No.
Well, they'll use that space to build the extra, that's what I'm saying, they will use that to build the extra space that they want to build a 5-story building.
Any other questions on the motion? Okay, it's not a public hearing, it's a resolution from the landmark committee. If no other questions, we'll take a vote on the motion. Motion is to approve the resolution from the landmarks committee, which is to reject the application for putting up a 6-story building, 5-story building adjacent to 375 Stuyvesant. Okay, that's their resolution. Okay, we're taking the vote. Okay, I'll repeat it again. The resolution is to reject the development of a 5-story building next to 375 Stuyvesant Avenue. That's the resolution. Clarification again, if you're voting for the resolution, you're rejecting the applicant's desire to put a 5-story building next to 375 Stuyvesant. Next to the building. on the same lot.
Felicia Alexander. Taiwan Anthony. Dr. Kim Best.
Yes.
Anthony Buzera.
Yes.
Ivy Amber Cobb.
Yes.
Evelyn Collier.
Yes.
Pastor Gwendolyn Dingle.
Yes.
Taina Evans.
Yes.
Mark Purcell.
Yes.
Bridget Plateau.
Yes.
Sharon Forbes.
Yes.
Keith Forrest.
Yes.
Gregory Glasgow.
Yes.
Mary Jamison Head.
Yes.
Oma Holloway. Anna Johnson.
Yes.
Dr. Curley Johnson.
Yes.
Dr. Deborah Lamb.
Yes.
Hardy Joe Long.
Yes.
W. Matthews. W. Matthews. She here? Is she here? All right. Kenneth and Bruno.
Yes.
Melissa Plowden Norman. Simone Pratt.
Yes.
C. Doris Penn. Karen Brown.
Yes.
Stacy Ruffin. Yes. Suzette Shepherd.
Yes.
Jamila Swift.
Yes.
Omar Walker.
Yes.
Doug Williams. Doug Williams.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna move to the second resolution from the Landmarks Committee, and the resolution will be given by the chair, Evelyn Butler.
The second resolution is LPC application 19-12990 for 344 McDonald Street that's located between Lewis and Stuyvesant Avenue. They met with our landmark committee on February 9th at our regular scheduled meeting, at a regular scheduled meeting. The hearing to review the proposed project at 344 McDonald Street. Jeff Charles, Pierre project architect was present for ownership. 344 McDonald Street is an 1873 semi-detached lay-metallic named brownstone, first in a row of 4 within the Stuyvesant Heights Historic District. The applicant is seeking a 2-story, 5-foot deep rear extension. The ground floor extension will be the full width of the building, which is 20 feet, and the parlor floor extension will be 12 feet wide. The remaining roof area of the ground floor extension would be a deck area accessible at the parlor level. The proposed extension will be covered with stucco of the color to match existing brick. The committee requested a revised design of the door and railing details, revised window replacement, and a design to reflect original building proportion. Resolution, the committee voted unanimously to not support the LPC application 19-12990 for 344 McDonald Street, Brooklyn, New York, as submitted. The proposal lacked the details of the proposed alteration needed to be reviewed by the committee. The action is the Landmark and Preservation Committee is asking the CB3 full board to support our recommendation to not support the LPC application 19-12990 as submitted for the review. The proposal lacked the details of the proposed alteration needed for review by the committee.
Is there a motion on the resolution? Moved by Doug Williams, seconded by Gregory Glasgow. Any discussion on the motion? Okay, we're going to call the question and then take the vote.
Felicia Alexander. Felicia Alexander abstain? Okay. Taiwan Anthony. Dr. Kim Best. Anthony Buzera. sorry?
Yes.
Abigail McCobb?
Yes.
Evelyn Collier? Pastor Gwendolyn Dingle? Taina Evans?
Yes.
Mark Vassell?
Yes.
Richard Plateau?
Yes.
Sharon Forbes?
Yes.
Keith Forrest?
Yes.
Gregory Glasgow?
Yes.
Mary Jameson Head? Oma Holloway? Edna Johnson? Edna Johnson? Dr. Curleen Johnson?
Yes.
Dr. Deborah Lamb?
Yes.
Marty Joe Long?
Yes.
Kenneth Mbono?
Yes.
Melissa Plata Norman?
Yes.
Simone Pratt?
Yes.
C. Doris Penn?
Yes.
Karen Rao?
Yes.
Stacy Ruffin? Yes. Suzette Shepherd?
Yes.
Janella Swift?
Yes.
Omar Walker?
Yes.
And Doug Williams?
Yes.
Okay, now move on to action on the public hearing. So, the first one will be, let's see, Ms. Collier, regarding 848 Monroe Street.
Committee on the committee has voted to support a letter of recommendation for the John Steptoe Cultural Center. Letter of support.
Okay. You heard the recommendation from the Landmarks Committee regarding 848 Monroe. Is there a motion?
848.
848 as in capital Monroe Street.
Second motion.
I didn't hear, was there a motion? Okay. Moved by Hardy Joe Long, second. Seconded by Mary Head. Any questions? Okay, call it for vote. 848 Monroe Street, motions for a letter of support for the project to do a cultural center. 848, to have the building individually landmarked.
Felicia Alexander?
Yes.
Taiwan Anthony?
Yes.
Dr. Kim Best?
Yes.
Anthony Bozarth?
Yes.
Abigail Cobb?
Yes.
Evelyn Collier? Pastor Gwendolyn Dingle?
Yes.
Taina Evans?
Yes.
Mark Vassell?
Yes.
Richard Plateau?
Abstain.
Sharon Forbes?
Yes.
Keith Forrest?
Yes.
Gregory Glasgow?
No.
Mary Jameson Head?
Yes.
Oma Holloway? Dr. Curleen Johnson?
Yes.
Dr. Deborah Lamb? Marty Joe Long?
Yes.
Kenneth Mbono?
Yes.
Melissa Plata Norman?
Yes.
Simone Pratt?
Abstain.
C. Doris Penn? Karen Rao?
Yes.
Stacy Ruffin, yes. Suzette Shepherd?
Yes.
Jamela Swift?
Yes.
Omar Walker? And Doug Williams?
Yes.
Okay, we can move on to action on the public hearing for Swings Restaurant. The recommendation will be given by Mr. Taiwan Anthony, Chair of the Economic Development Committee.
Okay, good evening again. So, in reference to a alcohol beverage control license application for Swings Restaurant located at 1542 Fulton Street, the committee recommends to issue a letter of non-support based on the fact of they are in violation of the 200-foot church rule.
Okay. Recommendation, I'm sorry, motion by Hardy Joe Wong.
No.
Felicia. And seconded by Hardy Joe Wong. Questions on the motion? Okay.
All right, also, please note that the applicant, did want a wine and beer, so this does not affect that wine and beer. We are voting on the full liquor application. Just so everyone knows.
Okay, it's for non-support for a full liquor license, which wouldn't be feasible anyway because of violation of 200. Okay. Calling the vote.
Felicia Alexander? Yes. Taiwan Anthony?
Yes.
Dr. Kim Best?
Yes.
Anthony Buzera?
Yes.
Ivy Gamble Cobb?
Yes.
Evelyn Collier?
Yes.
Pastor Gwendolyn Dingle?
Yes.
Taina Evans?
Yes.
Mark Casell?
Yes.
Richard Plateau?
Yes.
Sharon Forbes?
Yes.
Keith Forrest?
Yes.
Gregory Glasgow?
Yes.
Mary Jamison Head?
Abstain.
Omar Holloway?
Yes.
Dr. Curly Johnson?
Yes.
Dr. Deborah Lamb?
Yes.
Hardy Joe Long?
Yes.
Kenneth Abuno?
Yes.
Melissa Plata Norman?
Yes.
Simone Pratt?
Yes.
C. Doris Penn?
Yes.
Karen Rao?
Yes.
Stacy Ruffin, yes. Suzette Shepherd?
Yes.
Jamela Swift?
Yes.
Omar Walker?
Yes.
And Douglas Williams?
Yes.
Next action on the public hearing will be on the bill, and the recommendation will be given by Mr. Taiwan Anthony, Chair of Economic Development.
In reference to an alcohol beverage control license application for Brooklyn LLC, they are located at 1215 Bedford Avenue, that's between Hancock Street and Woolsey. The committee recommends a letter of support.
Is there a motion on the recommendation from the Economic Development? Moved by Doug Williams, second. Second by Dr. Best. Any questions on the motion? Doug Williams, second by Dr. Campbell. Okay, we're going to take the vote.
Felicia Alexander?
Yes.
Taiwan Anthony?
Yes.
Dr. Kim Best?
Yes.
Anthony Buzera?
Yes.
Ivy Gamble Cobb?
Yes.
Evelyn Collier? Pastor Gwendolyn Dingle?
No.
Taina Evans?
Yes.
Mark Casell?
Yes.
Richard Plateau?
Yes.
Sharon Forbes? Sharon?
Yes.
Thank you. Keith Forrest?
Yes.
Gregory Glasgow?
Yes.
Mary Jamison Head? Omar Holloway? Dr. Curly Johnson?
Yes.
Dr. Deborah Lamb?
Yes.
Hardy Joe Long?
No.
Was that a no, sir? You said no?
Yes, no.
Oh, okay. So Hardy Joe Long?
No.
Thank you. Kenneth Abuno?
Yes.
Melissa Plata Norman?
Yes.
Simone Pratt?
Yes.
C. Doris Penn?
No.
Karen Rao?
Yes.
Stacy Ruffin? Yes. Suzette Shepherd?
Yes.
Jamela Swift?
Yes.
Omar Walker?
Yes.
Doug Williams?
Yes.
Thank you.
Last public hearing we're going to vote on will be on Wildlife LLC doing business as Devon. Recommendation will be given by Mr. Taiwan Anthony, Chair of the Economic Development.
So in reference to the last public hearing for alcohol beverage control license application for Bar Life LLC doing business as Nevadas, located at 1177 Bedford Ave. The committee recommends a letter of support.
Is there a motion on the recommendation of the Economic Development Committee? Moved by Melissa Balagon, seconded by Gregory Glasgow. Any discussion on the motion? Okay, I'm going to call the question.
Okay. Felicia, Alex, now, just one second, sorry. I know. Okay, sorry about that. Felicia Alexander? No. Taiwan Anthony?
Yes.
Dr. Kim Best?
Yes.
Anthony Buzera? Yes. Ivy Gamble Cobb? Yes. Evelyn Collier? Yes. Pastor Gwendolyn Dingle? No. Tayana Evans?
Yes.
Mark Purcell?
Yes.
Richard Plateau?
Yes.
Sharon Forbes?
Yes.
Keith Forrest?
Yes.
Gregory Glasgow?
Yes.
Mary Jameson Head? Omar Holloway? Dr. Kerming Johnson?
Yes.
Dr. Deborah Lamb?
Yes.
Marty Joe Long? Kenneth Abuno?
Yes.
Melissa Plata Norman?
Yes.
Simone Pratt?
Yes.
C. Doris Penn? Karen Brown?
Yes.
Stacy Ruffin, yes. Suzette Shepherd?
Yes.
Jamela Swift?
Yes.
Omar Walker?
Yes.
And Doug Williams?
Aye.
What?
Okay, I don't have any additional report. We're going to make a motion on the minutes and then we'll get the result of the vote. Is there a motion on the acceptance of March 5th, 2018?
Motion to accept the minutes.
Is that for each? Okay. Is there a second on that? Moved by Felicia Alexander, seconded by Gregory Glasgow. Any discussion? All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? Unanimous.
We gotta get the count, right?
Okay, so the parliamentarian said we can take a voice vote. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Unanimous. We're going to have the vote. Challenge. So on the resolutions, the LPC application for 375 Stuyvesant, the vote was 28. That's to reject the application to build a 5-story building on the lot that's part of 375 Stuyvesant. The vote was 28-4-0 against, and 1 abstention. The second resolution for 344 McDonough Street, the vote was 26-4-0 against, 2 abstentions. Request for letter support for 848 Monroe Street. The vote was 22-1 against, 5 abstentions. Vote for Swings Restaurant, letter of non-support was 27-4-0 against, 1 abstention. Vote for the bill, request for letter of support was 23-4, 3 against, 2 abstentions. And lastly, the vote for Bar Life, DBA Nevadas, 22-4, 4 against, 2 abstentions. Is there a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Moved by Whitey, seconded by Dr. Jackson. All in favor?